Do you want to know the longest cosplay in history? Someone that has never been able to identify as themselves, but has always identified as others. Let me show you this. This is Ariel. And this is Gypsy Rose Blanchard at 22 or 23 years old after stealing a Make-A-Wish from the children in need and her just stealing, basically. This is Gypsy Rose Blanchard playing as Demona. This is a comic book character, and here she is over here. Yep, this is her in lingerie and a wig on, playing Demona. This is Gypsy Rose Blanchard's picture on Facebook, and it says my Anastasia Steele cosplay pics. This is Anastasia Steele. This is my signature look with my signature robe and Gypsy Rose cosplaying me right here. And it gets even better, so just wait. This is Gypsy, obviously, again, cosplaying Cinderella. And she was actually dressed like this at the movies with the man that she used to unalive her mom that has autism, a low IQ, and was collecting a permanent disability check. This is how she looked. Yeah, so she would just walk around cosplaying. Her entire life is just a world of make-believe. So she just lives in this world that she can't even identify who she is because she's always making believe she's someone else. I know that sounds crazy, but that's the world of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I got one more for you, and this is going to blow your little wig caps back, okay? For those of y'all that don't know. Casey Anthony and Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And I think it's ironic that she just had a baby girl and she decided she was going to have a bob to identify as a mom, but as a mommy alleged unaliver. Child. This is too crazy. Like, way too crazy. Like, this really made me like... And remember, she had that shirt on that said, "Hot summers, the devil rolls the dice." She unalived her mom in the summer. And she's always played as Demona. So I wanted y'all to see this because I think it's really interesting to see how she doesn't have her own style because she doesn't know who she is. So she always identifies as whatever she feels like she could connect to around her or whatever she deems as, I guess, worth cosplaying. And I guess Casey Anthony is one, which is actually pretty scary. But drop your comments down below. I'd love to hear them. Jaguar Wright was named in a lawsuit. This is wild. You know this whole Diddy stuff. I think it's the calm before the storm because look, I'm not a psychic. But I know something's real big gonna happen. And I don't think a lot of people are really seeing it coming, but I know it. There's too many things being thrown up. Something major is gonna happen and it's gonna be wild. So anyway, watch this. Y'all let me know your thoughts down below.
Jaguar Wright was just named in a lawsuit with Diddy. And this lawsuit was already out. It is Ashley Parham's lawsuit, but it was rewritten. And the things that they say and allege about Jaguar Wright are proven not to be true. But the parts about Jaguar Wright can be proven as factually inaccurate because at the time, Jaguar Wright was in jail at Cook County in Chicago, Illinois. And believe me, I'm the last one on this earth that likes Diddy. But the fact that these claims can be proven as not true with actual facts makes the validity of these claims very questionable. And now this updated lawsuit added tons of more defendants, and a lot of it just didn't make sense. And I'm not going to spend my time going over this whole entire lawsuit, especially after I found factual inaccuracies that can be proven, but I will tell you who she tried to unname and brought into this lawsuit just recently. Now, not only did Ashley Parham add new defendants, she also added other people that are suing with her, who is a Jane and John Doe. And some of the defendants that she added that you might recognize are Odell Beckham Jr., Drewski, Jaguar Wright, and Big Homie CC. Dated this and tried to say that one of the people that SA'd her was Drewski and also Odell Beckham Jr. They also named Big Homie CC as being Diddy's bodyguard at the time that allegedly knew all of this happened. And then this is where this new Jane and John Doe come in, where you're going to hear about Jaguar Wright. This Jane and John Doe are trying to say that they were transported to the location where Ashley Parham was SA'd by defendant Jaguar Wright and this girl named Helena. Tried to allege that Jaguar Wright had large brown bags and manila envelopes full of cash that was banded. And they alleged that Jaguar Wright told them that they were being taken to meet John, who they later found out was Diddy. Now this Jane and John Doe that were added to the new lawsuit tried to say that they were there when Ashley Parham was SA'd and they witnessed her being SA'd with the TV remote. They alleged that the John Doe tried to say something, but he was told to shut up or they would put a remote in him next. The John Doe tried to allege that he believes that he heard Jaguar Wright say, "Put the remote in her. She's going to learn today," telling Ashley Parham that she was going to make it worse. Now, this John Doe is also trying to say that he witnessed the essay by multiple different people of Ashley Parham, and some of the people that she tried to allege was Odell Beckham Jr. and Drewski, taking part in this with Diddy. This John Doe even tried to say that they tried to force him to SA Ashley Parham, but he refused. Remember how I told you Ashley Parham had said in her original complaint that she filed months ago and this one that on March 23rd of 2018, this is when this allegedly happened. She does not say on or about, she does not change, nothing. She is consistent that this was the date that this happened. She also tried to say that there were police reports of this happening in the original complaint and that she also went to the doctors a couple days later. So that's why she knows this exact date is what I'm guessing. Well, now she has a big problem with a big inaccuracy when it comes to Jaguar Wright, because March 23rd of 2018, Jaguar Wright had her friends posting this, and Jaguar Wright was actually in jail in Cook County in Chicago, Illinois. And this is huge. All Jaguar Wright has to do is basically bring this to court, proving that she was actually in jail for quite some time too, guys. It wasn't like she was just in jail for a couple days. She was in jail for over a month at the time in Cook County Jail. The first time the people that were running Jaguar Wright's account told everybody that she was in jail was February 16th of 2018, and at the time she had already been in jail in Chicago at Cook County for 35 days. And she didn't even get out of Cook County Jail in Chicago until April 11th of 2018. There is a big concerning factor with this lawsuit as well. This lawsuit was filed by the lawyer Ariel Mitchell Kidd. Ariel Mitchell Kidd was the lawyer of Courtney Burgess, the man that said that he had all of these tapes of Diddy and he took them to the grand jury. Diddy just actually sued Ariel Mitchell Kidd and Courtney Burgess, saying that everything that they said about those tapes was false. Honestly, I'm starting to think that Diddy might be onto something here. Like I said, I'm the last person that likes Diddy, but factually, after Diddy has got hit with two superseding indictments, we've never seen any information brought up about minors. Diddy also has his discovery, so he knows all of the information that the feds have against him. So he would know if they had these tapes with alleged minors on them from Courtney Burgess. And mind you, Diddy sued these people for defamation, saying that they were lying about this specifically and some other things, and Ashley Parham was also on that documentary. I honestly feel like this is going to be really bad for that lawyer Ariel Mitchell Kidd on Jaguar Wright's part, because she could possibly sue for defamation and maybe even another hit from Diddy. Because honestly, this lawsuit was one of the wildest ones I've ever heard, and a lot of things didn't make sense, and I'm not one to ever victim blame, but I just gotta say it as it is. I think that the original complaint at the time was believable, but it still was crazy. But now that they added all of these random defendants and changed allegations and added these Jane and John Doe saying that they saw Jaguar Wright and all of this stuff when it can be proven as false, is really hurting this woman's claim if she's not lying. But I will add this lawsuit over on my Patreon at Kadisha Lynn if you are interested in reading it, since I'm not going over the whole thing. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
We still have no update on Onijah, and that's kind of worrying me. I know a lot of people aren't really taking it that serious, but I don't think people realize like how bad this is, and not knowing anything, especially in a place like Dubai, is such a bad thing. And I see a lot of people saying, oh well, she F around and found out, but
I just feel like we can't treat situations like that, because if something was to happen to me, I would want the public to like have questions and be concerned, because it should be concerning because you care. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I'm a human, not because, like, you know me, you like me, you love me. It doesn't matter. I think just we should all look out for each other, kind of thing. I hope that kind of makes sense to you guys, but that's just how I feel about it.
Hi guys, I'm getting a lot of messages on the Onijah situation, but the problem is I don't have an update. That's why I haven't been doing any new videos. It's not that I don't care and I've forgotten about Onijah. That's not it. It's because there's nothing to update. We don't know where she is. The thing is, her visa runs out, her 30-day visa runs out this weekend, so today. So if she doesn't leave Dubai by today and she's not back in New York Monday or Tuesday, then we have to assume that she's definitely in jail. And the thing is, in Dubai, they don't need to tell anybody, not even family members, if someone is in jail. They don't say anything, so that's why we don't have the information. I'm getting a lot of hate messages now saying, well, you've forgotten about her, you're just using her for TikTok clicks, whatever. This is not true. Please don't send me these kind of messages. I'm still worried about Onijah. We still all care. We are still looking for her. But because we don't have information, it's difficult to put anything out on social media when I can't tell you anything. So let's just wait and see what happens next, I guess.
Okay, I don't know if you guys remember, about a month ago or a couple of weeks ago, Wendy Williams was set to go to an appointment at the hospital, or a doctor's appointment, for basically a psych evaluation to decide if she should or doesn't need a guardianship. She signed that order for the judge. Well, today was the day. So she went to get evaluated. Here's a clip. I think it's interesting that a lot of people were trying to talk to her, or like, you know, news anchors or whatever, were trying to, or journalists rather, were trying to talk to her, and she just would not. And I think that's the best thing right now, because anything she says, people will scrutinize. So it's perfect. But, you know, Wendy's Wendy, and she knows. But I'm happy to see that there's steps in place that are happening for her. I also saw that there were some other things in the works for her. There was 2 New York NYC agencies that were looking into this guardianship, which is good. We need that. So I think it's like a double-edged thing right now. So either way, I feel like she will have some sort of justice. But I want to keep you guys posted. Watch this TMZ video of her, and drop your comments down below.
Wendy, how are you?
Wendy, what's going on?
Wendy, how are you feeling today? I know you said that you needed help. Is it coming from you?
Open?
Wendy, are you looking forward to the view? So will you still be making your appearances for this week?
Side door. Oh my God, I gotta get behind that. Oh my God, oh, thank you. You put that and put that way over there. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh my God, Okay.
I don't know how many of you all watched the DA, Nathan, Hoocha Man, or I can't say his name right. I don't know why. In LA, about the Menendez brothers. Now, look, if you guys watched it, I know it. You have to really shift through the BS, right? And keep in mind, a DA is an attorney, and he did a lot of play on words. He said that they were not abused, and he said that the only thing he said was that his dad was controlling and used dominant force. In my opinion, dominant force would indicate some type of sexual abuse, right? Dominant force, like that's what he's saying was initially said. And he's pretty much saying like, okay, he never mentioned this abuse. And I know a lot of people say, okay, we could compare this to Gypsy. And I don't believe so. Let me tell you why. Back in the 80s, for young men to say that they had been abused by another man, that like boys or men of sexual abuse were not considered abuse victims. I don't know why there was that double standard. I personally can't really like understand it all the way, but that I feel was the way things were. So I don't feel like you would see two young men straight up say, well, you know, I was abused, no matter what the situation is. That's something that you would want to disguise, because then also people are going to be like, oh, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, when you were just being transparent. You know, like, I just don't think that that was something that was socially acceptable, and people never really felt like young boys were abused in that way, when I don't know why. But this is my opinion, okay? And what I didn't like about this DA was like, oh, well, he was like, well, I will give them a chance to pretty much get out if they admit that, you know, they were lying and manipulating and basically weren't abused. So he's like, we will give you an opportunity to get out if you say what we want you to say. I think it's very clear Eric for sure had been abused. And I don't think Eric would have done this on his own at all had it not been them together. I also think they should not have been tried together. That is just my opinion. I think they should have been tried separate, but I think that they tried them together for Lyle's sake, because he had a stronger chance with his brother, I think. But this is my personal opinion, okay? And I just didn't like the way this DA handled everything. I'm going to add a clip to it. There's also a TMZ article that you could check out, but I also heard one of the aunts or the sisters went in on the LADA and said that he was dismissive of their abuse and that he did not handle it well. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens, because it still does have to go in front of the judge, and the judge has the ultimate decision. And from what I've heard, this particular judge is in favor of them. So I just feel like we just kind of have to see what happens. But let me know what you guys think in your comments down below.
The second track that the Menendez case is on is the clemency track. This is a petition that the Menendez brothers filed directly with Governor Gavin Newsom. He could have acted on this petition either now, he could have acted on any moment since he has been in power since 2019. He can act on it today if he so chooses. He has unilateral constitutional power to commute the Menendez's sentences if he chooses and release them today. There is no hearing he needs to have, there's no deadline, and he can also do nothing. The third track is resentencing, and we are here today to discuss that third track. Resentencing is a law that was passed by the state legislature in California, a somewhat unique law to California, that basically gives the judge, under certain circumstances, the power to resentence someone who has been previously sentenced. In this example, potentially, the judge could resentence the Menendez brothers from life without the possibility of parole to life with the possibility of parole. What the position we are taking today is that we will go forward. We are prepared to go forward with the court's initiated resentencing proceedings and look forward to a resentencing hearing on that motion. However, we are asking the court to withdraw the previous district attorney's motion for resentencing because we believe there are legitimate reasons and the interest of justice justifies that withdrawal. In looking at then whether or not the Menendezes have exhibited the full insight and complete responsibility for their crimes, they have not. Because, and we outlined this in 20 different lies that they have told, which is an attachment to our submission. They have told 20 different lies. They've actually admitted to 4 of them, but 16 lies remain unacknowledged. They persist in these lies to this very day. So like with Sirhan not being able to exhibit full insight into his actions, so too the Menendez brothers failed to exhibit full insight.
All right, y'all. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Gypsy show is coming out tonight. We are going to watch it on Conspiracies, so definitely head over there on TikTok. So I know some of you guys don't. I'll give you guys a quick recap because, you know, we're not supporting her by watching the actual channel. I think this is going to be interesting. An hour of some BS, child. But you know I'm going to give y'all a recap after. So look out for my recap because you know I'm going to have some stuff to say. You know what? I'm not going to have nothing to say. Bye bye for now.